Yes, guys, welcome back to another vid from Mutal FC, and today we got another banging vid for you. Today we got match week 7 predictions for you.
That's right. Kicking it off, we got Man City versus Liverpool. Supposedly, both the title teams. But today, City choke in the Champions League. Still no striker. Still no Champions League. And then with Liverpool, they tied Brentford last week 3-3. Johan Wissa with the chip and the ice cold Holland celebration. But yeah, hopefully, this is a tie. I'm going to go 1-1 just because I want someone new to win the Prem this year. Maybe Chelsea or United sitting third and fourth with 13 points. So yeah, I'm going to go 1-1 between City and Liverpool.
Yes, I would love to see a draw as well. City, I believe, are playing home at this game. It doesn't really matter. City have no fans. They can't even fill up their stadium during the UCL. So, that's bad. But City and Liverpool in the last couple of years have developed a rivalry, whether they want to admit it or not. It's like the Arsenal United rivalry in the early 2000s. Both teams love to play attacking football. It's probably the most exciting game of the Premier League season, usually. I think that this game with fans, mainly Liverpool fans, is going to add a lot to this game. And I honestly think it will end in like a 3-3 draw. I could see. I think both teams evenly matched. City do look defensively compact for the most part. I know PSG took care of them, but it's PSG. Liverpool, other than Salah, the other two, Mane and Firmino, I know they scored against Porto, but they always do that every year as an annual spanking. But Firmino and Mane, like they still haven't shown in the Prem consistently. Salah's the only danger man. For City, they don't have a striker, but they have so many players, and on that counter attack, City can really expose that Liverpool defense, who don't look too good, at least from that Brentford game. So I'm going 3-3.
All right, and then moving on to United Everton. So Vic mentioned Dangerman. Is always job in danger. Drop a comment. He's got to win a trophy. They're coming off three back-to-back losses. Last week in particular was kind of embarrassing. 1-0 against Villa. Villa fans loving it with that chant. And then with the CU celebration outside the stadium, ultimate shithousery. And then for Everton, I think 2-0 last week against against Norwich. So I think honestly, like they're gonna share the points. So I'm gonna go 1-1 between United and Everton.
I could honestly see this. As a United fan, we haven't. This is right before the Villarreal game, so we don't know what has gone on in that game. But it's looking peak for United. Everton, who've looked really good under Ancelotti. Not Ancelotti. Sorry, that was last season. Freaking under Rafa Benitez, but they're collecting points. And I know you could say it's Norwich, but without Richarlison, without Calvert-Lewin, they're doing a job. I'm not sure if they're back for this game. But even then, it doesn't matter because it looks like Maguire's out for a couple weeks for United. So if Lindelof is there, Everton can really bully Lindelof. And also, Luke Shaw might still be injured. So United have weaklings in the defense. I honestly could see this go 1-0 to Everton.
All right, then moving on to Chelsea versus Southampton. So speaking of collecting points, this team Chelsea have been collecting hella points. So I think this is pretty comprehensive. Sorry Southampton fans. I'm gonna go 3-1 to Chelsea.
I think this game, I had Southampton as my relegation favorites, or one of them in my predictions, and I might have to take that back because they're taking points off the Manchester United, which you could say, okay, it's United, but City as well, holding them to no shots on target. I think the Southampton side have shown more resilience. And as for this Chelsea side, I think that there was one question about this whole Chelsea side is, do they create enough for their forwards? Chelsea have been collecting points, but some could argue some of their performances this season, kind of similar to United, aren't as good as the points might show on the league table. Especially if you look at that Villa game. I know they won 3-0. The scoreline seems like they smashed Villa, but if you really watch that game, the first half, Saul was getting dominated. Chelsea were getting dominated. Villa were doing what they were doing to United to Chelsea, right? Chelsea looked really shaky, but then they just held on somehow and came through it with Lukaku. And we saw in that City game, it was the first time Pep got the better of Tuchel. They created nothing. Nothing. No chances for Lukaku. It was attack versus defense. It was training drills. Now, Southampton will be a different game, but even Southampton will come out to attack. But that probably would just help Chelsea. I could see this game, honest to God, be a 0-0 draw, and that's what I'm going to go for. So Chelsea 0, Southampton 0.
And then moving on to Brighton versus Arsenal. So speaking of domination, last week Arsenal dominated Spurs. That was insane performance, 3-1. But if there's one team that can really stick it to them, their arch nemesis Brighton, man. And they've been coming up big late. Neil Maupay with that nice finish, that nice ass chip against Crystal Palace for a 1-1. So yeah, honestly, we gotta show Brighton the support. So I'm gonna go 2-1 to Brighton.
I mean, Neil Maupay loves scoring against Arsenal. I mean, you remember a couple of seasons ago where he took the piss out of Guendouzi and all the Arsenal fans got triggered. Ty from AFTV got so fucking triggered. This is going to be a good game. Brighton are probably one of the most informed teams in the league, one of the most surprising teams in the league. They are taking points. Like, even when you think they're not going to do it. That Maupay goal at the last second, literally the last second, right? They are, I said it last week, they are cashing in on that XG. They are cashing in on it. And as much as I want to say Brighton are going to win this, that Arsenal performance against Spurs wasn't just like a good performance. It was an excellent performance. It shows the potential that this 11 of Arsenal players can be. That is a top 6, maybe even, right? With the 1 or 2 more additions, top 4. I'm not saying they're going to get that because obviously there'll be injuries and Arteta can't keep that consistency. But another manager can bring that out of those Arsenal players. We've seen the potential, right? Aubameyang has to kick on, obviously. But I am going to say, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say Arsenal are going to actually win this 2-1. So, yep, 2-1 to Arsenal.
Okay, moving on to Spurs versus Aston Villa. So we're just talking about informed teams. Now we're talking about out-of-form teams. Your favorite out-of-form team, Spurs, man. I don't know what the hell is happening in that big, beautiful bald head of Nuno. But, I mean, he's under pressure, man, now. What is it, 3 losses on the drop now? Was it first off against Crystal Palace when Tanganga and Zaha tried to do a boxing match in the middle, and then they had the spanking to, what was it, Chelsea. And then most recently to Arsenal. I mean, it's not looking good, man. We're going to be nice, because we like Son, we like Kane. And I mean, Villa, they're dealing with some problems right now. So I'm going to go 1-1 between Spurs and Villa.
I'm going to go 3-0 Villa. I'm just saying it's going to be the 4th time, right? I mean, Spurs are an embarrassment to London clubs. They really are. I mean, like, literally all the London clubs took care of you. From the first month, right, they were top of the table. Arsenal were 10th. Now Arsenal, after this month, are ahead of them. They're like 9th or something, and Tottenham are 11th. And the worst part about it is Nuno got manager of the month. Bro, it's like the Pookie last year or 2 years ago. I don't know how they get player of the month or whatever the first month, and then they're ass the rest of the season. Now we're seeing the true colors of Nuno. Very defensive-minded. They in terms of creative chances, shots on target, they rank like 18th, 19th in the league. That's terrible. And this Spurs team, Kane looks disinterested. I don't see how Spurs are going to move on unless they get a new manager. So for me, Villa win this comfortably 3-0.
All right, and then moving on to West Ham versus Brentford. So, first off, respect to Brentford going toe-to-toe with Liverpool, 3-3, pulling back. Yoan Wissa, that was clean, especially the bike in the cup as well. And then Antonio, man, last-minute goal, getting the win again. We love to see the celebrations, but I see, West Ham's a step above Brentford, because they've been here for a while. Brentford new, and, we, support them and like them. But, yeah, West Ham for the win. So I'm going to go 2-1 to West Ham.
I'm going to be controversial here, and I'm going to say 2-1 to Brentford. Maybe it's just me liking Brentford, the story, but West Ham are a very good side. Probably Brentford's one of their toughest challenges. I know Liverpool is obviously one of their toughest challenges, but also West Ham is probably the second toughest. They're a very organized West Ham. They've got Antonio, who's a danger man, but Brentford have shown a lot of character against Arsenal to get that result, against Liverpool to get that result. I think they can definitely get a win here, so I'm going to go 2-1 to Brentford.
All right, and then moving on to Crystal Palace versus Leicester. So speaking of danger again, man, I don't know what it is with Rodgers and Patson Daka, but he's in danger of being forgotten, dude. Why are you letting this man rot on the bench, man? I mean, I don't know. And that was tight last week, man. You almost lost to Burnley last minute, too, 3-2. And then as for Crystal Palace, man, Zaha getting a pen. Hopefully this game he'll sauce. I think it's going to be a bit too much for Leicester, so I'm going to go 2-1 to Crystal Palace.
Yeah, for me, Leicester, I mean, again, too early in the season. You can't make any real decision in the season right now, but any of the teams, except maybe Norwich, they're definitely going down. But the rest of the league, it's very hard. But Leicester, not a good start to the season. I mean, you think about losing to Brighton, and Brighton have done well, and then the Burnley, that's concerning. A 2-2 draw, that is definitely not good. Obviously, injuries, Fofana is a huge injury. But it's not looking good for Leicester, whereas Crystal Palace, Conor Gallagher looks like one of the signings of the summer. I know no one will talk about Ronaldo, Lukaku, but like Conor Gallagher's involvement into Crystal Palace in all these games, he's always like the one the dictating everything, and he's always involved in goals. And I think again he's going to be involved. Zaha's going to be involved, and I think they're going to win this 3-1 to Crystal Palace. But let us know down in the comments below, what do you think is going to happen in some of these games? What do you think is going to happen between the big game, the title challenging game, Liverpool versus Man City? Let us know down in the comments below. But other than that, we'll catch you next week. Peace.